We've all been there. You're joining a new company and you're all hopeful and excited, and then very quickly after starting, you learn that it's actually a toxic environment, and now you feel hopeless and stuck. And you may ask yourself, where did I go wrong? How come I didn't see the warning signs? Well, we both know that if you ask an employee during the interview process about their happiness with the company and the company culture, you might not get the full picture. However, there are aspects of their behavior and the company itself that you can watch out for or do your research on. And today I will give you a good list of potential red flag areas to watch out for. That will include a lot of examples that you have shared with me over Instagram. Thank you so much for doing that. If we haven't met yet, hi, my name is Masha and I create content that will help you build your career strategically by working smarter, not harder. If that's something that you're interested in and want more of in your life, then make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel not to miss any other content. And while you're at it, hit that like button to tell the algorithm gods that you would like more content like this. And it also helps support my channel, so thank you, I appreciate you. So for our first set of red flags to watch out for, let's talk about the interview process. Red flag number 1 is if the interviewer is unprofessional. If the interviewer is late, unprepared, or gives off signs of not taking you seriously, that's a huge red flag. And if you are interviewing with multiple people, make sure to take note if this behavior continues across other team members or if it repeats with the same person, because you're looking for patterns there. Are there signs of unprofessionalism and disrespect? Because that will be a huge red flag. Red flag number 2 is rescheduling and or inconsistent communication. Life happens and sometimes we do need to reschedule, but if it continues past 1 or 2 times, that might be a sign of disrespect. So is erratic communication. You don't want to work for a company that has these values built into their company culture, a culture that doesn't respect your time or doesn't prioritize building a reliable communication system. That is a red flag. Red flag number 3 is vague job description. The job description is there to create expectations of what is expected of you from this job if you were to get this job. And the interview should confirm those expectations. If there is a mismatch or if it is confusing you, that is a red flag. If the interviewer is telling you something about the job that is contradicting the job description, or if there are drastic inconsistencies, that might be a sign that the company is not exactly aligned on what this role is going to be, and you might be hired for something else. So you're hired for one job and you're actually going to end up doing a different job, which, not a great sign, right? Because that just means that the company is not exactly well organized on the inside. Red flag. Red flag number 4 is questions that are too personal. I am honestly shocked by how many women have shared that they have gotten inappropriate comments during interview process. Shocked and also unfortunately not surprised. But if you get any questions regarding your family, your future plans to grow your family, kids, etc., marital status, or anything else that feels a little too personal, beyond them asking or making sure that your family is healthy and safe, like that is normal. If anything goes beyond that and gets too personal, run. That is not a great company culture. They clearly disrespect boundaries and it's just, no, red flag. Red flag number 5 is uncomfortable comments. If the interviewer is making comments that are making you uncomfortable by the content of the comment or the language used to make the comment, not a good sign. That's a red flag because that probably reflects the company culture and norms or beliefs. And here are some examples of the comments, the uncomfortable comments that you have experienced that you have shared with me. First of all, anything about physical appearance, either in the interview process or the job description. Another comment that a woman has received during an interview process, verbatim, is women aren't as comfortable with technical jobs. Oh, and another comment that made me cringe so much and made me want to run is, "You're our first woman on the team. We're very excited because it will make our company look good." Another uncomfortable comment that a lot of people receive that honestly could have deserved a category of its own is, "We are a family here." This comment is a huge red flag because it communicates that the company doesn't respect your boundaries and that it might be manipulative because they might use this, "but we're a family," to guilt trip you into working extra hours on the weekends, etc. Work is work, family is family. They're separate things and there need to be healthy boundaries. So if you hear that comment, red flag. Red flag number 6 is asking questions about your previous salary. Now, a lot of companies know that it is a huge no-no these days because asking for your previous salary perpetuates pay inequality and contributes to the gender pay gap. And companies that value equity know that and will not ask you this question, period. Besides, it's illegal to ask this question in a lot of places, so research your local laws. Number 7 is the company culture is way too specific. It's great when a company culture supports and enables their employees to be more open-minded, creative, collaborative, and do their best work. However, it can also go a little too far, homogenizing employees and making them behave a certain specific way. If it kind of sounds like a cult, maybe it's not the right place for you. And finally, number 8 is there are too many tests or assessments. The company does want to see whether you are the right candidate for the job, and so it is normal for them to give you homework, an assignment, a test, something that will help you demonstrate your skills in context. However, if it crosses the line of 1 or maybe 2 assessments, it risks crossing the line of unpaid work and taking advantage of you, which is a clear red flag because if they're taking advantage of you now during the interview process, imagine what will happen once you join them and you're part of the team. Bad things. So this is a red flag. So those were red flags to watch out in the interview process. If you have any other red flags that you'd like to add or any other examples of comments that you have received or questions that are inappropriate, leave them in the comments below. And now we are going to move into the second set of red flags, which is all about the company itself, which will take some research on your behalf. Company red flag number 1 is the lack of women in leadership positions. The easiest way to see if the company is not only talking the talk but also walking the walk is to see their leadership team and how it is comprised. If you see no women at the C-level positions, clearly the company doesn't value diversity as much as they say they do. Red flag. Company red flag number 2 is the lack of diversity in the team in general. You can look this up by either going on their website, sometimes they list the entire team, or going on their LinkedIn page and looking for people who are employed by the company. If you are not seeing diverse candidates, diverse talent within that talent pool, that might be a sign that you will be a minority and you might have to be the first one to fight for some of the accommodations and benefits that you need. For example, you might be the first one to ask for a lactation room on site. Company red flag number 3 is no clear parental leave policy. Most companies are now publishing their parental leave policies on their website for both birthing and non-birthing parents. If parental leave is not even mentioned in the benefits package, that's a red flag. In an ideal world, you will see a clear policy listed on their website. That is transparency. That is the company that at least I would want to work for. Company red flag number 4 is they focus on the fun perks way too much, because this may be a distraction mechanism to draw your attention from the lack of the benefits, the fundamental benefits that they should be providing but aren't really providing, or they're not as good as normal. So this is a smoke and mirror kind of game, and it's a red flag. Red flag number 5 is the lack of professional development opportunities. A lot of companies are now providing budgets, dedicated budgets for professional development. And if they do, that will be front and center. They will tell you about it in their benefits package because it's a signal that they invest into their employee growth. And that is a good signal that we want to see. Now, not every company is going to have a dedicated budget for that. That's normal. A lot of the times you will be able to ask for that budget internally, and these companies will be happy to provide that budget for you to train and develop. However, the other way in which you can see whether the company promotes internal growth and development is to see whether the existing employees on LinkedIn, you can go in their LinkedIn profiles and see whether they have been promoted over the years in which they have worked in this company, for this company. Internal promotions, internal growth is healthy. It communicates that people are encouraged to grow. They're encouraged to grow within the organization, and that is a good sign. You want to see that. You want to see those budgets. You want to see employees talking about how the company has invested in training, etc. The red flag is when there's high turnover, and they only hire external people for the senior positions. That's a huge red flag. Company red flag number 6 is that the company just feels a little too old school. Old school worked for a certain demographic. However, most women and most men I know would not want to work for that kind of environment right now. So if it feels like the old boys club kind of thing, maybe it's not the right place for you. It might be a place that lacks innovation, open-mindedness, and a lot of things. Red flag. And red flag number 7 is negative reviews or reputation. Finally, we have reviews from websites like Glassdoor, where employees leave reviews of an employer. And of course, there are some fake reviews. We know that, right? There are some, I've heard of some companies incentivizing their employees to write these positive reviews, and that is fake. However, you will also see the negative ones if the company was really toxic. Of course, take it with a grain of salt, because a lot of the times we get very emotional when leaving a company, and kind of read between the lines whether it was an actual company problem or the person's perception problem. However, you will get a lot of information from that, and you will get to see if it feels right, or if there are some deal breakers, if there's some non-negotiables that are being mentioned in these reviews that just make it not an environment that you want to be part of. So yeah, do your research and see if there are any red flags in those reviews for you. So there you have it. I gave you 15 different areas of potential red flags to watch out for when doing a job search. And if you have any other red flags or red flag areas to watch out for, please leave them in the comments to help others do their research and see the warning signs. Like this video if this was helpful, and to tell the algorithm gods that you want more content like this and that you want more content from me. And since we're on that topic, if you are not subscribed yet, what are you doing? Subscribe right now, not to miss out on the next video, which is going to be all about, let me just remember what it was about. Imposter syndrome during job interviews, which if you are on this journey right now, you might be struggling with imposter syndrome, which basically feels like you're a fraud. Whenever you feel stupid, you feel unqualified, and you feel like a fraud in certain situations. So, how to deal with that imposter syndrome during job interviews. So if you are interested in receiving that video, make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn on your notifications to be the first one to know when it is live. Let me know what you thought about this video in the comments below, and share any feedbacks or other ideas or suggestions. We can also be friends on other social media. You can find me as Stereotype Breakers. Have a wonderful time the day you're currently experiencing. Bye. All right, I think we got it.